This is Chad with Digital Photography. This is another tutorial, and this is on color adjustments. Um, so this is a picture you probably recognize. It's from Stan State. Um, you can tell the picture is pretty large, 4,000 by almost 2,000 pixels. And so I should be able, here's at 100%. And so it's a very nice picture. I do feel like the color is on a little bit on the blue side right now. So I wanted to show you a few ways to adjust this. So if we go to Image and Adjustments, we could go to Hue and Saturation. Let me bring that palette over here. Now, kind of hard because I want to show you the picture, but I also want to show you the palette. So let's see. So I'm in Hue and Saturation. And we can pick out different colors in here. Like if I wanted to go to target my blues and then reduce the saturation or even change the hue, let me show you what that does. Reducing the saturation of blues will take my blues and make them grayer. Okay, and they all start at 0, so that's your starting point. Or you can hold down Option or Alt to instead of a cancel, it changes it to reset. So if you move your saturation up, you can see all those blues that are being affected and how they get like very neon. Well, if the whole thing is too blue, not just the blues, but the whole thing, I'll go back to the master. And I could, so blues, if I change this hue slider, blues is going to be to the right, but not blue is going to be to the left. So I might try just moving this to the left and see what it does. And that is actually warming it up very, very nicely. So I like that. I might click OK to put that in place, but let me show you another way to adjust the colors. Let me cancel that. This is more of an automated way. If you go to Image and then go to Auto Color. So there, now it looks less blue, it looks very balanced, much warmer. It looks really good. So this Image Auto Color is nice to just drop it right in the middle of the color gamut, so you get nice warms and cools, and it's all kind of there. But if you want to do something special, the adjustments and then hue saturation or even color balance would be something you could try. Let me show you another thing that you could try out. Now, this is called a light leak. Light leak. And that's when you're shooting a picture and light goes between your lens and your camera body. There's light that leaks into your photo, and it kind of lightens up your photograph. It kind of makes a pleasing image, and people do it in a controlled way. But so this light leak, you'll have to go until you'll make the adjustments in layers. I'm going to drag this little JPEG file. You can make this on your own, but I'm just going to drag this one over on top of it. It's called light leak. It looks like this. I mean, you could easily make it. In fact, I'm going to make one instead of doing this, because then I'll get a lot of questions. Where'd you get that, and how do you do it? I'll tell you where I got it. I got it from Berkeley, UC Berkeley. Hold on a minute. Okay, so here's the address. It's UC Berkeley's Branding and Identity Guidelines. And under photography, they talk about the photo style and how they want to hit cultural and historical. But here's this thing about light leaks. You can see the original photo, and with the light leak, what happens? And it's actually a kind of cool change. Or I mean, let's say you have a library of really nice old photos, but it's a nice way to freshen them up. So there's a place where you can download them. Let me adjust this. So here it is, download the leaks library, and then you can drag these color leaks on top of your image. Let me just show you how to. First, I'll show you how to use theirs. I'm going to drag this light leak. I used 15, it doesn't matter. There's a big library of them. I'm going to hold down Shift, and then I'm going to move this to fit my image. Okay, I'm going to hit Enter to put it in place. And then, so here is the light leak, and I'm going to change that from normal to screen. And then I can adjust that opacity to whatever I want. But that really makes a more interesting photo. It's one that has not been seen and is kind of cool for a publication or whatever. So let's just hide that, and we'll make a new layer. And I'm going to fill this first off with black, and then I'll go in with maybe a teal of some kind, light blue teal. And the idea is to keep it soft and organic. Some green, move my opacity up, and grab a touch of purple. And then I might go grab a touch of orange. And we'll change that to screen and play with the opacity on that. So you can, and if I didn't like the green, I could go in and change it, or if the purple was too strong, I could go knock that back a bit. But anyway, another way to play with color, make color adjustments in Photoshop. Let's see, we did already talk about this color range tool, and let's say I wanted to grab my greens. So here I am, I've selected the grass. I'm going to hold down Shift and go into trees and select the green in those. And then I'll move this fuzziness slider up a bit. So now I have a whole bunch of the greens selected, even maybe a little more than I should. And then with those greens selected, then we can go into, oops, let's go to the right layer. There we go. Now we're on that layer. And then we'll go to Adjustments and Hue Saturation. Now I could leave all these marching ants up, but I can do Command H to hide them. So it's not, I didn't remove them, I just used a Command or Control H to hide the selection. So they're still selected. Now if I want to make some slight changes, like make it a little bit warmer, kind of like fall or something, I can do that. Or make it a little more alien somehow, but this looks kind of fallish. You can also use the same technique if you were to take a picture of someone in a coat and then change the color of the coat. Works just as well. And the same process. I've seen a lot of retailers online where they have a yeah, exactly, like a product, and it changes color, so they just use Photoshop to do that. Okay, so that is a few ways to edit your color.